Hey, what's going on, everyone? Weez here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope your week is off. Pretty good, man. It's Friday. Chilling, man. You got the weekend up ahead, so hopefully everything is good. But today we're kicking back as always with some casual CS2 in the background, while I touch on something almost every gamer hits eventually, which is how do you find the time to game as an adult without feeling guilty about it, Because guilt is there, man, my friends. Guilt is there. Because remember, when we were younger, time is just, was in abundance. We had tons of it. You got home from school or summer break, you boot up your setup, and you're locked in, dude. I remember not doing homework because I was playing, honestly, I would play a lot of Madden, NBA Street, NFL Street. That's when I got really into, heavy into gaming. But prior to that, yeah, I was like Super Nintendo, right? Mario, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Paperboy, you know what I mean? But fast forward to adulthood, right? We got jobs, full-time jobs at that, responsibilities, relationships, our health, our household chores, limited energy, right? I think we drink more Red Bulls now than we have ever done in our lives. And we're suddenly finding, every uninterrupted hour feel like a prize, right? Because we don't have that much time, uninterrupted time, that is. So today I just want to talk about how my approach to gaming has shifted and how to keep it kind of like a rewarding hobby when things get busy. So my first major adjustment that I had to make was letting go of that mindset of a gaming session only counts if it's all night, right? Because to this day, I still have that problem where I want to game all night. I even tell my wife, I could sit on this computer for 8 hours, right? And it's one of those mindsets that you need to change. For a long time, if I had 45 minutes or an hour to play games, I think to myself, well, why am I even gonna bother turning on the PC? Why am I gonna bother turning it on my console? I don't have that much time because I felt I needed to do an all-nighter. Right? But what I realized is that quality kind of beats quantity, right? These days, capping a session at 1 to 2 hours or maybe every other day, it just hits that much better than an all-day gaming session. Especially when you gotta do tasks. You're playing Elden Ring, right? Something like that. Icarus, games that the mechanics are not, easily forgettable. Those are great. When you play a game that the mechanics are just insane to kind of figure out, you can lose the sauce, man. You can lose the sauce. But you jump in, you enjoy the loop, get off kind of feeling refreshed, right? Gaming has become more of a reward after a productive day instead of a distraction from things you ought to be doing, which kind of completely gets rid of that gaming guilt. But the second piece of the puzzle of that is actually being kind of selective about the games that I play, right? As an adult, right, with limited time, right, because limited free time, you kind of start to realize that certain games kind of demand the respect of time. Right? Some games are very time demanding, especially the way games are now. Games aren't, you don't pass a game within 35 hours, right? It could take 40 to 80 hours, hundreds hours. Baldur's Gate 3, you can put in hundreds of hours. Tarkov, it never ends, right? So it really goes down to picking the right game. If a game requires you to log in every single day to kind of complete a checklist or forces you to grind and all that, maybe that's not the right game you should be playing, right? You gotta respect the time, right? Choose the game that's not gonna burn you out in time or with time, right? It's not gonna use time against you. But at the end of the day, gaming is just like a slice of pie, dude. You know, it's a rewarding feeling. You know, you go to work, you come home, you do what you gotta do. You have about an hour to 2 hours to kind of like wind down and get ready for bed. So that's, you know, that's two within those, that's two big things, right? So you definitely gotta choose it wisely, man. Growing up and, you know, being an adult, you know, if you're listening to this and you're reaching that age, you know, your early 20s, you've already graduated high school, you're going into college, you're doing all that stuff. Just know that growing up and getting older doesn't mean you have to give up gaming. It just means the way you play evolves. Right? You're gonna start trading in those long binges for, you know, hey, you know what? Let me see what game I want to play with the boys or by myself. Let me do the research on this game before I just jump in and buy a game and spend $60 to $70 on something that I'm never gonna complete. High quality time, you know, that's what you're gonna be looking for. Now, I'm curious how you guys manage it, right? So, you know, we only have so many hours in the day, so many hours in the week. So I would love to hear how you guys manage it. Please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to read your takes. Might heart it, and I probably will heart it, right? Because not a lot of people comment, or nobody comments. But thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next episode.